All right. Good morning, area seniors. This is Rebecca from the Lebanon Senior Center. We're here with you this morning to start our day with some good old chair chi. If you have come with us to the center before, you know that this is a seated version of Tai Chi. And that is something to start our day with some good old chair chi. If you have come with us to the center. I needed to mute myself. Okay, so we have this lovely program that we call Chair Chi. It's a hybrid of Tai Chi and a seated exercise program. So a lot of the movements we do come from classical versions of Tai Chi, but we have adapted them to a seated format that allows us to engage audiences with varying abilities. So we hope that you have a good time with us this morning. We hope that you feel rejuvenated after you exercise. A couple of tips if you're joining us for the first time. Hopefully you drink a little bit of water beforehand. If not, that's all right. You can definitely go get some anytime you feel the need, or go ahead and definitely drink a glass of water after class. Even though you're not going to be sweating and feeling like you're doing a bunch of cardio, your body is still doing a lot of work. Okay. And you just want to make sure it gets all of the nutrients it needs. Eating right's a great idea, but definitely staying hydrated during any kind of exercise is a huge benefit to your body. You don't want to do all that work for nothing, right? You don't want to sabotage. So definitely hydrate. A lot of the movements that we do are a little, shall we say, slow. We call it intentional. We move very intentionally in Chair Chi. We let gravity be our resistance. By moving slowly, your body's having to engage and really use the different muscles and joints in a way that maybe you don't normally use them. By slowing down, you're letting the body really become the focus of your effort. You want to connect your breathing to your movement whenever you can, and definitely keep breathing. During no part of this exercise should you stop breathing. We want you to also breathe deep. A lot of times we breathe just from the top of our chest, quick, short breaths, right? That's not what we want to do. We want to engage our breathing from deep in our abdomen. You should feel your belly push out and pull in when you breathe. Really deep breathing. In fact, breathing is so important. That's where we're going to start today. All right, my glasses always get shoved down by my headset. Let's bring our hands together in front of us. We are going to do our morning salutation. So our hands are together and they're pushing towards the sky. Nice stretch up, bringing them back down to our chest, turning our fingers forward, pushing them away from you, bringing them back, turning back to the sky, reaching up, pulling them back down. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Pushing out, bringing it back, up towards the sky. So we're going to separate our fingers and bring them around. And go ahead and let's do some deep breathing. All right, let's go ahead and bring those palms back together. We're going to stretch out our wrists and our fingers. We don't often think about doing that, but if you are dealing with arthritis or carpal tunnel, Sometimes doing some stretches of your hands and fingers are some of the most important things you can do in the morning just to help get them stretched out and ease some of that pain you might have felt when you woke up in the morning when everything got really tight from unuse overnight. Just stretching the wrists both directions. I'm really pushing against the fingers too. All right, back to our center. Now we're going to twist our hands so our palms are still in contact. Our fingers are pointing opposite directions. We're going to slide those fingers down to where they can link up. And you're going to pull against your own fingers. This creates a lot of resistance in the forearms and the shoulders. And of course, your effort isn't supposed to be so Herculean that you pull your hands apart, but you want to give it a good pull like you're trying. The tougher you do on the pull, the more those muscles are having to, meet that resistance and rise to the occasion. All right, and we stop and we flip hands and do the same exercise, just with the different hand on top. Sometimes, we find that one side of our body or a different limb has a little more strength than the other. So we just flip things around just to make sure we're equalizing, giving both sides a chance to get in touch with themselves. All right, go ahead and let your hands drop to your sides. You can shake them off. I was, really pulling. Oh, I can feel it in my shoulders already. Okay, let's go ahead and let our head fall to our chest. If it doesn't make it all the way to the chest, that's okay. Just wherever it's comfortable. You don't want to actually try to pull your head further than it wants to go. You don't want to feel strain. You just want to stretch. All right, now after just a moment, you're going to slowly rotate your head to one shoulder and slowly rotate it back to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. In, out. And when you get back to the center, you can gently lift your head up. And we're going to let it fall to one side. Again, not trying to pop your head off, just gently let it lean to the side, let gravity take hold. It's providing the stretch. If you would like a little more resistance, you can just set your hand on your head. So I'm not pulling. I'm not trying to pull on my head. I'm just letting the weight of my hand add a little more resistance. Good job. We can go ahead and take that hand off. And we're going to tilt our head to the other side. Again, just letting gravity take hold. Stretch out those neck muscles. And if you want that resistance a little bit extra, you can just set your hand up there. Alrighty, go ahead and take that hand off. Our head is back upright, feeling pretty good. Let's warm up those shoulders. Just doing a little shoulder roll. You can start off nice and small. I know it's pretty early in the morning. At least it is when we're, doing this live. If you join us later, maybe not so early. That's the great thing about putting these videos up on YouTube or on our Facebook page. You guys can come back and watch them whenever you want. And I switch directions. There's no really right direction. You can go forwards, you can go backwards. You can certainly make a bigger arm motion as they warm up. You can do one at a time and get really groovy and funky. It's It's whatever, it's just working the motion, getting those shoulders going. All right, good job. All right, we're going to go ahead and do our next stretch. I'm using my right arm, so I'm stretching across my body with my right arm, taking by the elbow and pulling it into myself. What do you do with your hand? Well, you can reach around there and pat yourself on the back for showing up to class today. Good job. I'm proud of you. Right, you can relax that arm back down. Of course, we're going to do the other side. So the left arm is now going to reach across the body. Right arm comes and pulls it in. You're also giving yourself a bit of a hug. This might be if you're still in the stay home, stay safe mode and you're still avoiding coming out in public, this might be the only hug you get today. So definitely give yourself a hug and know it's from all of us at the Senior Center. All right, relax that arm back down. Good job. It looks like we're going to repeat, but it's not quite the same. So the right hand is going to cross the body, but instead of going to grab the other arm, it's going opposite knee. So my right hand, left knee. And I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that knee, and I'm going to twist. If you want a little more resistance or a little more pull, hold on to the back of your chair. Trying to keep your posture straight. You're just twisting. Stretching out your sides, your back, and even your hips a little bit. We're going to be doing some back and forth motions here in a little while. You just want to make sure everything's good and warmed up. All right. Now the left. All right, left hand, right knee. And you can give yourself a little extra twist. Remember, if it's too hard to hold the back of the chair, that's okay. You don't have to. If you are giving any of this an effort, you are doing a good job. You are showing up. You are spending a little time giving your body a little extra oomph in its day. And we'll relax back to the front. And it's important to, recognize our bodies need a little extra oomphs, right? If we all just kept going when we were young and kept on remembering how to play outside and run around and have a good time in our bodies, maybe it wouldn't be so much work. It wouldn't feel like work so much when we got older. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stretch out my right leg in front of me. I know my leg's kind of cut off on camera, so I'm just kind of showing you what I'm doing. Got my right arm stretched out over my leg. You don't have to have your arm stretched out, just doing it to make sure you can kind of see what I'm up to. So my right leg is stretched out before me. You have your toes pointed, or you can have your ankle flexed to 90 degrees, whichever you want to do. But we're going to go say good morning to our toes. So you're going to be done. And I like to brace myself on my left knee, just to make sure your balance is good. If you've got great balance, by all means, you can throw both arms in the mix, reaching down to your foot. But if you are a little balance challenged, feel free to give yourself a little extra stability. I have these short little legs, so my legs never quite reach the ground the way I want them to. So I like the little extra balance. So when you're ready, we're going to slowly work our way down to our toes. And you know what? If you don't actually get to your toes, that's okay. You might only get to your shin. Hey, that's great. Maybe get to your ankle. Maybe you do get to your toes. Don't judge yourself against anybody else. You just do the stretch for you. You're the only one living in your body. Even when you're bent over like this, remember to breathe. All right, very, very slowly, 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 you can start working your way back up to a seated position. You can bring that right leg back under you. We come up slowly because once you take your head lower than your heart, it's very easy to get lightheaded, to get some blood pressure changes. So we want to go slowly to allow our body to equalize. Hopefully you're not seeing spots or stars or anything. If you are, take an extra moment, get a couple extra deep breaths. Definitely make sure you're breathing while you do the stretches. You can even take a nice deep breath in while you're coming up to make sure you're getting that oxygen. All right, so now I've stretched out my left leg in front of me. Got my right leg is going to be my bracing leg. Certainly, again, if you don't need a bracing leg, you can engage both arms stretching down. All right, so we're going to stretch down. Oh, it feels a little good to stretch. All right, when you're ready, remember that nice deep breath as you slowly start coming back up. Really good job. I brought my left leg back in. All right. So once again, I'm going to be showing some things with my hands, and that's just because I know you can't really see my feet. Camera can only get so far in my small space here at home. So my hands are my feet. Haha. All right. We're going to be going up on our toes, just like this. Okay. Really flexing the plantar part of our foot, which is the underside of our foot. And coming up and back down. Up on those tippy toes and back down. Up on the toes, back down. I'm going to go ahead and put my hands down now. All right. Doing really good. Up on the toes and down. And it's not a race. Remember, you're stretching them out. It's a nice, slow rhythm. Almost like you're sitting on somebody's front porch in the summertime, drinking a glass of an iced tea, just rocking on the porch on a beautiful day. Yeah. Just up on those toes and back down. You are doing so great. I'm glad, so glad you could join us today. As you're doing this, as you start warming up your legs, you want to start squeezing your calf muscle. You go right ahead. As you get to the top on your, on those toes, just give the calf a nice little squeeze and then relax it back to the ground. Squeeze and relax it back to the ground. I encourage you to start off gently doing that. If your legs aren't fully warmed up, pretty easy to start giving yourself a cramp in a calf, and that never feels good. Oh, you're doing great. All right. One more nice little squeeze and down. Excellent job. All right, to reverse this exercise, instead of going up on our toes, our feet are flat on the floor and we're going to rock back on our heels. Now, for me, the best way to do this is actually move my feet an inch or two forward. So I'm now kind of out of that 90-degree knee bend. I've gone a little further. And then I'm going to rock back on those heels and put my toes back to the floor. Rock back on those heels and toes back to the floor. I really start thinking about trying to stretch my toes back to my shin. Kind of a visual person. So I'm just really thinking about stretching them back. Oh, yeah. There's no expectation you're actually going to stretch your toes back to your shin, by the way. Just a visual, just a goal to think about when you're making your feet. Do the motion. I don't know what a motion is. It's cow motion. I don't know. You start getting a little weird when you're in a space kind of talking to yourself. Just going to say, I have to entertain myself. All right. Let's do 2 more. Stretching those feet. Yeah, really trying to reach back to the toes. Last stretch. Oh, all right. Relax those feet back to the ground. Good job. Let's go ahead and bring those feet back to a 90 degree. Not the feet. Bring your knees back so your knees are at a 90 degree. Oh, I might need another cup of tea this morning. All right. And when you're ready, we'll begin the next exercise here. So we are going to do our bent knee lifts. So we like to joke in our in-person class that either ninjas in training or the quietest herd of elephants, because the goal is that I don't hear anyone's feet. Usually we're doing class on a linoleum floor. Carpet makes it easier to be quiet, but the linoleum floor, anytime someone drops their foot to the ground, it makes a louder sound. So with our knee in a bent position, let's start with my right. I'm going to lift it up, and then I'm going to gently set it back to the ground. And I'm going to switch to the left, lifting it up, gently setting it back to the ground. Okay, and you're just doing one foot and then the other. And if you only get an inch off the ground, that's okay. If you can get some high kicks in and get your knee really up high, you know, that's awesome. You know your body. You know what you need to do to engage it and have it do some work. And again, you don't have to do this with your hands. I just always feel bad when you can't see my feet. Just remember, you're in control on the way up. You're in control on the way down. Sometimes we forget we're in control of these bodies and we just let gravity do the work. All right, let's do one more on each side. So one on my right, one on my left. Good job. All right, we are going to go ahead and just do a stretch that involves our hips before we do a different kind of leg lift. So we're going to bring our feet together. Think like if you were sitting on the floor in a yoga class, and then we're going to spread the knees apart. I like to push gently away from each other, really opening up the hips and your pelvis. Good time to take an extra deep breath or two. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring those knees back together. This time we're going to take our feet apart. So my feet are now a little bit past on the sides of my knees. So if I would have my feet straight under my knees, I've got my feet straightly to the outside of my knees, because we're going to push those knees together and squeeze. Pretend you've got a stress ball or some kind of small ball and you're trying to hold on to it between your knees, really squeezing it together so it doesn't fall on the floor. All right, you can relax your legs and bring those feet back under our knees. Good job. All right, so make sure you're in a nice comfortable spot on your chair. I always have to turn, again, my short legs, I have to turn the side just a little bit. Otherwise the chair cuts into the back of my leg, which isn't comfortable. But you want to get, I'm starting with my right leg stretched out before me, kind of like we did for that stretch this morning that we already did. Instead of me going down to my foot though, for this, we're going to try to bring our foot up. We're doing a straight leg lift. In class, we joke and refer to it as an anti-gravity leg lift, because our whole goal is to keep the foot in the air and not let it touch the ground until we're finished with the exercise. Now, I said goal. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And if it happens, don't feel bad. Don't get distracted by that. It's just us working on the control, engaging the muscles in the front and the back of our leg throughout the exercise, really using gravity as resistance. This is definitely one of the exercises that gets people's attention. It's one that you can easily overdo and make yourself really sore later. So just be doing it gently. If it is your first time joining us, you might not stay with us the whole time. Just do some, stop early, check to see how you feel later tonight. And then, if it feels fine, feels really good, you can certainly jump back with us next week or the next time you watch the video and do more. Or you can even lift your leg higher. Okay. I do my leg pretty short. I just like to make sure everyone feels like they can join us in chair chi. But if you've got a nice, strong body and you really can do high kicks and should be doing a can line, you feel free to bring that leg as high as you're comfortable and as high as you can do safely in the chair without falling out. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to lift that leg up in the air. Again, kind of showing with my arm because my leg doesn't always register on the screen. And then slowly back down, not touching the ground, back up. Slowly down and back up. Slowly down and up. All right, I'm going to drop my hand down so I can focus on my leg. Remember to do your breathing. Let's do one more. And up high and slowly, slowly, slowly going down. Good job. All right. Earlier, you might remember that I mentioned that sometimes you have a stronger part of our body, or due to an injury or something, your body responds differently. This exercise is one that definitely shows me the difference in my legs. My right leg is still pretty strong. My left leg due to some health things that have gone on in my life, it is a pain. It does not like to come up in the air. So where I can get my right leg, foot off the ground without thinking about it too much, my left leg and I, we treat this like a mental combat. So it's learning to behave itself and do what I ask it to. So again, you might be able to do one height lift off the ground on one side and a different height lift off the other side. It's okay. It really is. Just keep showing up and doing what you can. And little by little, you may see improvement. You might be able to do a little more, either a longer period of time of joining us in exercise or a little bit higher in a lift or wider in a lift. It just depends on the exercise. Just listen to your body. You shouldn't be feeling pain. Discomfort's one thing, pain is another. So when you're ready, we've got our right leg at a 90-degree angle, keeping us kind of grounded and giving us some balance. The left leg is going to go up in the air and down and up. When I say down, I don't mean all the way down. I just mean lower to the ground and back up. I'm having to work at it when I'm having to get quiet to think about it. All right, let's do one more. And slowly, slowly, slowly coming down. All right, if your legs are feeling a little wobbly, you can certainly shake them out. Give them a good clap on themselves and let them know they did a good job for you. Okay, now I'm sitting back straight, legs that are at a nice 90-degree at the knee, keeping me with good posture, facing forward. And I'm going to bring out my chi. We jokingly refer to it as our chi ball. Chi is believed to be at the center of our mass. It's our energy. Some people have a little energy, some people have a lot. So wherever it's comfortable for you to hold, we're going to hold our chi in our hands and we're going to gently start moving side to side. Remember to connect your breathing to your movement. So in, out. All right, we're going to start rotating this ball in our hands. So we carry it in one hand coming across, rotate it so we don't drop it. At the end of each motion. There you go. Okay. We're going to get ready to change this up. So as we come across this time, we're going to freeze in place on the corner. The top hand is going to lift up, brush past our fingertips, brush the top of your knees, rotating the wrist, lifting it upright. So now the hand that was still now reaches across the top, brushes back by the opposing hand, past the knees, rotating, lifting up. This is brushing. Here comes the brush. The wild horse's mane. Lifting that hair up, reaching across with the brush, brushing out that mane or tail, picking up some more hair, brushing across. And the bigger you can do these movements, the bigger and wider you can rotate that arm and that shoulder, the more effort your joints and body will do, the more exercise you'll be getting. But if you can only do a small movement, if you're working in this space right now, just this little space, that's okay. That's where today you're starting there today. Over time, as you work and show up and do the exercise and really stretch those muscles and joints, you may just find you're doing a little bit more and a little bit bigger over time. Okay. Again, we're going to switch it up. As this arm comes across, we're going to freeze in place. That top hand is going to come perpendicular to the other hand, and it's going to start leading that horse to water. And evidently it's picky. It didn't like the first watering hole, so then it's got to go find another one. And oh, no, not that one either. Sometimes in class, we think that this kind of looks like passing off a baby. It's one of those things in grandparenthood or great grandparenthood or an aunt and uncledom. You get to pass the child back if it needs a diaper change, right? or if it's hungry, or if it started getting a little too loud in a cry, you can hand the baby back to mom and dad. All right. One more time, and then we're going to switch it up again. We're just going to start pushing clouds out of our way. You are the fierce wind moving clouds across the sky. Maybe you're wishing for sunnier days. It's June. We've had a lot of rain. Maybe you just want to push those clouds out of the sky and welcome the sun. Or maybe you're really enjoying the rain and aren't a fan of warm summer weather. So maybe you're gathering those clouds to you. In this scenario, you control that weather, and you can be as big and as artistic with those motions as you want to be. All right, let's bring those hands to a rest. You can really start you working those shoulders, huh? All right, we are doing pretty good on our time today. So we are going to go ahead and do a little storytelling. In class, we like to talk about a hungry bear who just woke up from his winter hibernation. He's very, very hungry. And so this bear needs to go get some fish. So whether it's a cold river or a cool lake, he's ready to dive in and go swimming after some fish. All right, so you just get out there and dive into that water. You're a big bear with a nice long coat to keep you warm. All right, and you can make, again, if this is where you're at, smaller bear paddling motions, that's okay. But if you can really get in there and tear into that water, you're going to really chase those fish down. Really big motions. All right. And if you happen to be a fisherman, seeing this big hungry bear, deciding to use the same fishing hole as you might decide to take a hold of your oars in your little boat and decide that you need to maybe find a different spot or get out altogether. So we're holding those oars in our hands, bringing them back up. Big motion. So up, bringing the chest wide. As we bring the chest wide, if we're trying to almost get those shoulder blades to touch in the back. Up, wide, and back. You know, for the fun of it, if you want to engage your core and do a little rocking here. You actually have to resist with your toes too and your legs a little bit. Keep you in your seat from falling forward. Good job. All right. And you've almost made it to shore and big pool. There you go. Now that you made it to shore, you decide to go for a walk in your orchard. In our class, we have the most magical orchard. Food grows so fast. It's just amazing. So last week, we planted a tree in our orchard, and that tree got big and tall and became how about we go apricot tree? Apricot tree, big and tall. Sounds so good, because we've been raking up those leaves and really taking care of that apricot tree. It's got a lovely harvest of apricots. So we're reaching up, one hand, one knee, reaching up, picking and harvesting those apricots so we can gather them up and share with family and friends who in gratitude give us another tree to plant in the ground. And we gotta make sure it's planted and pampered really good. So we use our foot to tamp the ground down. All right. And that tree right before our eyes grows big and tall. Gorgeous, gorgeous tree. How about it becomes hazelnut tree? Hazelnut tree, because we're taking really good care of it, raking in those leaves so we get to go pick those hazelnuts. Again, opposite knee comes up, opposite hand comes up. Picking those hazelnuts so we can gather up a bounty. We've had so many, we have more than we need. We share it with our family and friends. Again, ever so thankful that we share what we have. Give us another tree that we have to plant in the ground. Just tamping it down with our foot. Oh, and that tree comes a massive tree. Beautiful, beautiful tree. How about an orange tree? That orange tree was so fragrant with oranges because we're taking such good care of it. Now we've got to go pick those oranges and definitely have extra because we've taken such good care of it. Sharing the oranges with family and friends. Once again, they say thank you with another tree. So we're planting that tree in the ground. Lo and behold, before our eyes, it turns into a beautiful tree. Beautiful tree. And we've been taking very good care of that. Let's go pear tree. And since we took good care of it, we now have to go pick some delicious and luscious pears. Oh, and they ripen so fast, we have to make sure we share with family and friends, who again are so thankful. We've got another tree. We plant that tree in the ground, and lo and behold, here it comes. Big and tall, super, super tall. Oh, look, pineapple tree. Woo, pineapple tree. All right, but we're going to take really good care of that pineapple tree. And, I'm like you, I don't know if we can actually reach the pineapple. We're going to have to reach really tall. Oh, to get pineapples out of our pineapple tree. And we share them with family and friends. Some of our trees don't make any sense. Believe it or not, my class has given me a boyfriend tree before and a Dollar Tree. Those are fun to try to incorporate into stories. All right, and they gave us another tree to plant. And it grows big and tall. And this tree becomes a nectarine tree because I love a fresh nectarine, nice and ripe, so much. Oh, my mouth is starting to water thinking about it. Picking those, harvesting them, sharing them. It's the cycle of agriculture. All right, and we're going to plant that tree that was given to us as a gift. This time, we'll wait till next week to find out what that tree becomes. All right, as part of our chair chi class, whenever you come to class, we always do a stretching as a cool down in a fun way. Just a quick run back through of some of the stretches we did, but we do it starting off with massage. We treat it like massage. So instead of just stretching past ourselves, we use our fingers, our hands. So you can pat, you can rub. I like to knead. Just get in there, hard to do with a headset on, but just with your fingers, massaging the skin, encouraging the circulation and blood flow that got started with movement, just getting it all the way out to our skin. Biggest organ in body, super protective. Anti-gravity here, brushing upwards. All the way to the collarbone. All right. Our hands are aside. This will be a familiar stretch. Reaching across the body and pulling it in. This time you can reach around there and you can, if you've got any knots in your shoulder, you can start rubbing those out. And we're going to come down the arm and back up. Our extremities, we do everything in twos. So we go down and up twice. And you back to the collarbone just a little bit. Then we're going to stretch over the other side. Oh, again, work on a different set of knots in the shoulder. Ooh, sometimes students don't like to leave this part. They like to give themselves a massage a little bit longer on their shoulders, and that's okay. And back up. And down. To that collarbone again. Working our way down our sides of our bellies. You know, intestinal system's really important. Our digestion is. So you can give yourself a little rub on the belly. And then we're going to stretch out our right leg. And again, you can brace yourself on your left leg if you need a little extra balance, but we're going to start working down our right leg that's stretched out before us. Going down the outside, up, inside, down again, up again. I like to stop at my knee and give it a little extra TLC. And you can bring that leg back. Again, you can brace yourself on that one as you stretch out your left. Working your way down and back up. Again, going through that process twice. Again, I like to stop and give the knee a little TLC. Okay, bringing that leg back in. All right, and then we finish up with some more breathing exercises. First, we're going to do 3 whole breaths like we did at the beginning of class. Then we're going to mix it up just a little bit. And I reference blowing up balloons and letting balloons out slowly. Okay, thinking of our lungs as a set of balloons. And just like you can imagine, when you're blowing up a balloon, it's not one breath generally. Usually it's some sequence of deep breaths that get that balloon full. So I will use my hands to kind of demonstrate because you can't always hear me breathing. So do your best to follow along even at a distance, okay? So deep breath in and out and in and out. Deep one in and out. All right, this time we're blowing up like a balloon. And out. Good job. Now we're going to do the opposite of that. So a deep breath in to fill the balloon. We're going to let it out in increments. So really pushing all the air out of your lungs. Back to 3 whole breaths. Last one. All right, everyone. Thank you for making it to Chair Chi with us today. We hopefully that you have a great rest of your day today, and hopefully we'll see you back soon. Hopefully soon we'll be back in person at the Senior Center. Until then, keep coming back and watching, keeping yourself healthy and safe at home. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.